It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel.
Hey, just to let you know, there's 3 more shows, so it's not the end. Woohoo!
Oh god.
Hello, everybody, it's me. And if you can't read, it says Comic Frog. Why? I don't know. I just like to let my name out. To the right of me is a guy you've seen on here for the past couple 500 videos. He's short.
We're
He's
not
small.
500 videos in.
Well, yeah, for the channel. I don't know. But interrupt me again, I'll kick you backstage with my non-existent legs.
Good luck.
But he
Yeah.
is small. He is small. He's not green, and he's occasionally mean and likes to live under bridges like a troll. His name is Puppeteen.
Yes. Hi. Hello there.
Hi.
Hi. We're here. We're here for The Walking Dead. It is season 11, 24, the series finale. It's over. It's done. The end. Who survives? What happens? That's what we're going to go into. So we're going to go ahead and start off saying, if you don't want spoilers, this is not the place for you. We're spoiling the hell out of it. So if you don't want that, you gotta go. Where do we start, Froggy?
Well, I guess we'll start with Daryl taking Judith into the hospital that's been abandoned. She's and we see that she's kind of like going in and out of conscious. She's lost a lot of blood. We see Daryl get knocked on the ground. But then we see the zombies are coming close to the door. Judith spits. She has some blood hanging on her mouth. She gets on her little legs and she goes over to. She moves to the door, and she has a fight with a zombie trying to get in. Eventually, she puts something really heavy, like a desk, in front of the door, and then she collapses to the ground. We get the
Yes.
yes, and then we get the but the theme music. Yes. Um. Yeah. So basically, after that, Carol's there. We see that Daryl is on basically on the bed or stretcher in the room next to Judith, and he's bandaged up. And then so basically they're the zombies are trying to get in. They have to figure out how to get out. They're waiting on a rescue, which gets botched because the ambulance they drive in is, I guess, wrecked. Man, they must have ran too many zombies over. And Eugene, Gabriel, and Rosita, and for some reason, yeah, they have their kids with them. Well, no, that's what it is. They found the kids first, and then they came to help. But the problem is that they had.
I feel like we need to go ahead and address. They all get to come together once more. Well, most of them. A few of them were out on the streets at the end of the last episode, and sadly, we have 2 fatalities from the start here, and that is Luke and Jules. They do not make it. Jules is pulled straight into the mob, and Luke gets bitten and dragged into the hospital, but it's too late.
And we get a touching monkey with Yumiko, and I apologize, can't remember what the other girl's name is that's in here, but Yumiko's girlfriend. And just their little group there. You got Connie there, and then Connie's sister. They're all basically they're the new group. I call them they're the last new cast member group to come in. They all get a moment together to say goodbye to their friend, and he says to them, "Keep the music alive." They promise, and then he dies, and then they knife him. They all cry. Meanwhile, while this is going on,
we
see Daryl and Carol not really giving 2 shits, kind of like us watching it, because I was like, I'm just so detached from that character. It took me a minute to figure out who the hell he was. I know him, but I don't know his name.
Yeah,
because they kind of went away from him. They kind of pushed him aside. So after that, the zombies are getting in. So Carol and the rest of them basically try to hold up the zombies, while Daryl, we find out he's basically his blood type is O. He's able to basically be a universal donor for anyone. He starts giving blood to Judith.
Not
Judith,
convenient at all.
yes, yeah, no, right. Um,
Totally natural.
without him even falling over, and he doesn't even have a cookie afterwards. They know there was, because you're gonna pass out. You seem a little woozy, but after that, though, the zombies breach. They can't get them under control. They at the end up having to flee, only to be rescued by Mercer and his crew, who arrive and what? Because they're driving. He has to call back to Abraham, the big giant military jeep.
Father Abraham. I mean, sorry, wrong Abraham.
Um, but meanwhile, though, we see because Rosita and Gabriel and along with their kids were trying to, they were gonna try to come get them, but they couldn't because their car was total. They had to climb up this basically it's rough drain pipe. They all climb up. Rosita's at the very bottom. Rosita slips and falls into the horde of zombies with her child in her arms.
That's horrible.
We think they're dead, like you're a joke. And at the last minute, she jumps up and she fights the zombie off, climbs to the top of the ambulance, climbs the pipe and gets in. And we're like, yay! Because we thought she was gonna get bitten or die or pulled apart. At first, I didn't realize the kid was there. Like, the kid was her saving grace. Because, man, without that, they're not gonna kill a baby on this
armor.
Show. Yes. We've learned that now. If you have a baby, you will survive. Just carry a baby around. The zombies will go around you.
That is how it works.
So after that, they basically they're all teamed with Mercer. They're all hanging out. It's revealed while they're sitting there that basically Eugene finds out that Rosita's been bitten, but she tells him, "Don't tell anybody." Eugene's torn up, dressed like he's John Travolta coming out of Pulp Fiction.
Exactly. Also, I think it's worth noting that it's at this point. Didn't we already deal with Pamela?
Pamela at this point is locked away in her governor or little location, her base little mansion there. She's got the gates up, not letting anybody in. But so we get basically we see outside, we see that Negan has already basically left because nobody's seen him. Because Meg's asking, "Where's Negan?" No one's seen him. She gets worried. She goes out there and she yells at Negan, and Negan apologizes. He says, "You know what? When I was down on my knees in front of that firing squad,
I got it.
I get it. I get everything. It's like I was a jackass. The fact that there's nothing I can say that you do, they'll make it up. But we all know it's a one-way ticket. The minute you fire that shot off, you're dead." He says that, "Let me do this." He says, and let me do this for you. And Maggie says, "You know what? Fuck it. You're going with me."
Yeah, we're going together. And
at this point, I was going to say, at this point, real quickly, we all know that Negan and Maggie somehow go to New York. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, when's that going to happen? Is it going to wait to the end of the show? Or are they going to get diverted or what? But
go ahead, spreading the news.
No.
I'm leaving today.
I'm kicking you to the zombies if you say.
So yes. Ultimately, though, it's unnecessary. Why? Because Mercer is able to get into the estates, and they have a plan. They have a plot of how to handle this. And, they try to consider what to do with, say, with Pamela, how to handle that. But they come to the conclusion, no, we need each other. We need to save each other. This is senseless. Do not kill evil woman. And
what it was not being they weren't saying that. They're saying we are living, we're alive. There's no sense of us be doing all this crap. Daryl and Carol speak over this, and we see Pamela. After she's been called out, she walks to the fence over. She's in handcuffs because everybody basically realizes that Pamela is the cause for all this.
She's the bad guy.
She led the zombies here. She escorted she made people disappear all the time. Pamela walks over in handcuffs towards the gate. We see our late friend Lance Hornsby with the
Yeah.
arrow still stuck in his neck.
Yes. Um, and all this is coming together at this point, and it's actually Judith. No, we need to save each other. No, you don't. No, I don't think you do.
So we see Lance Hornsby zombie and us zombies are they're basically because what happened was that Gabriel was given the key to open the gate, let all the people in. 1,000 people are still out there. They quick saved them, brought them in. They locked the gate, but then the zombies came. So anyway, at this point, we basically think Pamela's gonna die. Pamela locks up. She's getting pulled by a zombie. The last minute, Maggie takes a shot, purposely misses, and shoots Lance Hornsby in the head. The dude has been killed twice in one season. That's a record.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
We've never seen a big guy, bad villain killed twice.
Well, anyway, dealing with it right here, what we get to see is the plan. They clear everybody out through the tunnels, the underground sewer tunnels, and they set up. Yeah, that's how they get them out, and they have something set up. They go ahead and play some music. They draw all the zombies in.
I want to play out the music they're playing, Cult of Personality. Yes. Sadly, whenever he hears that song, we will think of CM Punk. And so when that record's playing up in her the other room, another mansion somewhere else.
In her mansion.
In her mansion, that's what it is, yeah. It's playing that, a Cult of Personality, and around the field area, they got those fuel tanks because they had filled them up while they were holding the zombies. They were filling up the fuel reserve. And when the zombies are drawn into the music while it's playing Cult of Personality, the pipe bomb goes off. Yeah, the giant pipe bomb. Another reference to basically CM Punk, for those watch wrestling. And so this is crazy now. This is a huge explosion. The flames, worth it. I know it's some CGI, but you know what though? I kept thinking like those disaster movies, when we see like everything collapsing, falling into like the basically the hell. This took out all the zombies. See the zombies is like Judgment Day, kind of like with Terminator 2 when you see the people get nuked. They're but more flames. Basically, from my understanding, they just filmed California on fire.
It's what it looked like.
But holy crap, though! Like I'll just say that quickly. This show has had like 3 different endings we thought were gonna stop. Then it continued. We're like, how long is this gonna go?
Wait a minute. Is this Lord of the Rings: Return of the King?
Rumor has it there's a 3rd trilogy coming out.
But at the end here, Froggy, they go ahead after this. They set Pamela aside. She's staying in lockup, and they are figuring out how they're going to move on.
And basically, Pamela is given the same treatment Negan was. She's in a jail cell, and she says, "You know what? You can't blame me. I had to make all the decisions. It's anyone else would break." And they say, "You know what?" Because Pamela says, eventually you guys are going to have to make an ugly decision. And Carol says, "Bitch, we already made one. We kept you alive. That was ugly enough. You should be dead for everything you've done." And I'm sorry, Carol, you left Negan alive. Negan killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, but it's different. Because of how she did it. Because she's a corrupt official and has people doing her dirty work. It's all...
Now, I want to point out, though, this show is way different as far as the ending of the actual comic book.
Of course.
Because the comic book actually went another 10 years, I thought.
They jumped
quite a while. Where with Carl being alive, and it's Carl and Sophia end up being married and all that stuff, having their own daughter. Eugene's fixing the trains and the trains going across. None of that. I was surprised. I thought they would have done some more with the train stuff, but instead they because we know that Maggie was supposed to be the president in the comic books, and then we had Michonne being the judge, And yeah, Herschel being grown up and just being a dick, basically had sideshow, traveling sideshow, freaks with. He had, look, guys, a real life zombie, because at that point they pretty much had wiped out all the zombies. So,
Yeah.
and Carl, being a badass, killed the zombie, and he got in trouble with the law because, well, he broke a crime. He damaged someone else's property. But aside from that, though, the show is way different. They only do it in a year jump. Rosita basically had told Gabriel when they're having like their big giant Thanksgiving feast after locking Pamela away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Gabriel, was heartbroken. Next thing we see a scene. We saw, we know that Judith knew. Judith saw this. Knew something was wrong. Eugene was distraught. She's led to her room. She's able to basically see her baby once more. Her daughter. She's in the bed. They took the baby away. Rosita's laying there. She's slowly dying. Her skin's blatching because she didn't use enough makeup. Yeah, they have everybody talk to her. Gabriel prays with her. Carol's in there too. Not Carol. Carol. Yeah, Carol and Maggie say their goodbyes. The last one to say his goodbyes is Eugene. And Eugene, just says, he says, "You kind of made me who I am today." And I'm thinking, like, man, the only people left from the original season was Daryl and Carol. And then the second group was Rosita, Abraham, and Eugene. And now it's just Eugene from the original group, the second group. And yeah, so you have to have a little touching moment. Rosita dies. Eugene tries to have his way with her. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's to see if you're paying attention.
Yes. So after that, they knife her.
Yeah, they end her, and then we skip a year, and that's when everything is revealed, and that's what this ending is for. It's to set up the future. They have 3 major spin-offs, and they go ahead and give us hints for each one. One with, well, not with Daryl, obviously. He rides off into the sunset on his motorcycle, and the sunset will land in France, so we hear. Then the other one is with Maggie.
Well, that's what's called Daryl Dixon. That's the spinoff.
Yeah, Daryl Dixon. Then there's Walking Dead: Dead City, and that will be with Maggie, and I guess Negan will just be there.
And then this is the crazy thing, because Negan at this point, before they're talking about before they show Daryl leave, Negan had Gracie comes up to Judith, hands her a box. There's a letter there, and it's basically compass. It says JG on it, and it says it's from a note from Negan saying, "Hey kid, it's really helped me help me navigate. I hope it does to you. It helps you navigate to your dreams. Thank you." And Judith looks around and realizes Negan's gone. Yeah, Maggie is still there at the point, and Maggie talks about and so Daryl said they both say the same thing. Daryl says that Carol is like Carol's like, and this is kind of funny because I want to see the original ending, because we know there's alternate ending, because Carol, the woman who plays Carol, decided she didn't want to be part of that new show. She wanted to take time off. She's been doing all this for all these years. So she says, Daryl says, like, I need to go out. We need to explore and stuff. And she says, like, I wish to go with you. You're my best friend. And they hug and go. He drives away on his motorcycle. But before that, Daryl leaves his dog in the care of Judith. Judith is pretty much is going to become. I don't know if she's the leader right now, but right now the leader of the group of Commonwealth right now, of the whole group, is Ezekiel and Mercer.
Yeah,
is the lieutenant governor, or the general, I guess. But apart from that, though, I forgot. Maggie said she's gonna go. She's gonna look out and explore some stuff. Apparently she didn't know that Negan's gone, but they'll probably explain that in the spinoff show when they talk about Negan running into Maggie in New York. And so the other big thing, though, and this is the craziest thing, because we all knew there's gonna be some kind of spinoff or movie, but Rick and Michonne are alive. We knew Michonne definitely was, but Rick is alive. He's showing him on a beach, and he's got, and in his arms, he's got, for those who watch Walking Dead World Beyond, the CRM, the Silver Republic, military, had these little things that staffs were basically killing the zombies. You just basically stick it into their face and then turn it and then pop it back out. They're like little staffs, like little spears. And he's got one. We all know that he was mentioned in Walking Dead World Beyond. So we know that Rick's been alive. We just don't know we actually have proof. That's really kind of cool. And he's on the beach, and on the beach there's heads of zombies, buried zombies in the sand, all trying to bite him. And as a helicopter comes up to him and says, what do they call him? Something consergy or what do they call him?
I can't even remember. It was nice to go ahead and see Rick, though.
Yeah.
We got to look at him. So
so basically the CRM wants him back, and we also saw that Michonne is rushing with armor on and basically going to look for him. Now at this point we don't know if Michonne and Rick have been working together at this point, or she's still looking for him. But they're gonna have their own show. It's just gonna be called Rick and I think it's called Rick and Michonne.
Rick and
Michonne, yeah, that's the name of it.
It's very simple.
Here's my huge question for the spinoffs: is Herschel Jr. going with her? You know, with Maggie to New York, or is he staying behind?
No, he's staying behind with Judith.
Yes, and New York the preview looks great. Well, I'm sure it's going to be up on YouTube soon. Looking for those people. Probably even walking AMC. Check for that. I'm sure they've already released the trailers. Dude, New York's an awesome city. It's huge. It's it's a concrete jungle, as they say. My only problem with that is New York is it better be buried under a lot of water, because what happens in New York when you start with all the flooding and stuff, and you're not running the generators to pump the water out of the subways, it better be damn well going into the ocean.
Yeah. Also, I think it's worth saying to go ahead and say it. I'm not sure about how we feel with this ending. All I know is that it went ahead, sent off some characters, and honestly, it doesn't feel complete.
Well, the other crazy thing is, Fear the Walking Dead is coming back with a brand new season.
Yeah,
this show is done. They kept a few characters around. They killed off, at least 3 of them, and a few extras. Will we ever see Judith? You ever hear about Judith Grimes ever again? Will she grow up? Will they cast a new person? These are questions I want to know, because unlike the comic books, this show doesn't give you a really proper send off for her. We just know that they're going to live in peace. They're going to have a little community. Carol's going to be there too. While
the rest of the world is going to hell.
And so we just know that at least 3 people or 5 people are all in the parts of the world. And now I gotta say this though, at least they understood finally that we want to see the rest of the world, because we all knew that through Fear the Walking Dead we got to see California, we saw them go into Mexico, coming up through Texas, so we got to see more parts of the country and the world, at least a little bit, not all of it. So I'm happy they're actually realizing, you know what, we can make this more interesting by going to different locations.
I cannot wait for French zombies. Oh, brains!
You know, I want to know, will there be zombie frogs?
No.
Racist.
Because all frogs are already dead inside.
The water, it made me like brains. No.
Because you don't have one. No. But I think we about covered it, didn't we?
Pretty much. I can't think of anything really else other than that. Basically, Lance Hart's old job is what Carol has in the community. Yep. But as far as anybody else, we saw that basically we got a happy reunion with Elijah and Stubby McGee, Lydia. Yes, Lydia. Her and Aaron are comparing Stubbs. Very much.
Well, they have to have something to do to kill time.
Yes.
But that's about it.
Ironically, they both lost it on the same arm.
It's been a long trip for us, Froggy, especially for you.
I see you again. Do 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 do.
Depends on if we're going to drag each other through a bunch of Walking Dead spinoffs.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Look, if you want more Walking Dead spinoffs or wants to cover that, leave a comment down below. Let us know because I'm looking forward to the Daryl Dixon show. More Dixon all the time. He's I consider lately. I like it when there's a small group, and I got a feeling it's gonna go, especially with Negan and Daryl, and all the other spinoffs. Hopefully, they keep it a small knit group, like the first season was of Walking Dead. That's what we like.
Indeed. We'll have to wait and see.
And this has been Puppeteen ASMR with you.
Yes, that's right. Also, we need to hurry.
Yes. So, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to leave us $1 on a Ko-Fi or not, Ko-Fi, it's basically right there, ko-fi.com/Puppeteen. The money goes towards zero basis for StreamYard, which is a monthly fee, and also goes towards the Marvel and the DC reading apps, which you use to read on the channel, bring you cool stuff, readings. Or, right, if you can't afford it, you're living in a shitty economy. Share out the channel. Click like if you haven't done so. Leave a comment, and also, you can start. Hey, wait, Austin P, you're stealing my line.
Only you can start zombie fires.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching, and thanks to The Walking Dead for giving us something to rally around.
And
see you next time.
For those you missed it, it's going to be on in another hour on EMCB Plus.
There you go. Goodbye.
Later.